Can you start on a 600? Well, I passed my test 3 days ago, and here I am on a 600 sport bike, riding it with ease. Do you know what I mean? I'm riding a 600. There's your answer. Obviously, there's more to it. I'm about to get into that in a second, but the simple answer is you're watching this video because you're trying to convince yourself, like I was, is it a good idea to start on a 600? Like, can I handle it? Well, first thing we're going to get out of the way is, if you live in the UK, I'm sorry about America, I can't speak for you, but if you live in the UK, you know how hard it is to get this in the first place, like to get your license up to this point where you can actually ride a bike like this. You have to wait till you're bloody 24. There is obviously other loopholes where, like, if you ride on your A2 restricted license for 2 years, from when you were 19, and you can get it at 22, but normally we're all riding a bike for a long time. We're riding a 125 for a long time. You're riding a restricted bike for a long time. You've had road experience, so you don't have to worry about how the road works. So if that's your issue, like if you've never driven before and you've never really been on the road before and you haven't ridden that much, then maybe, yeah, it's not for you, and you should maybe get a lower one so you can make those mistakes. But if you're like me and you've literally been driving for so long, and then you did that much training for your direct access or whatever lessons you had, you've been on a 600 for hours. I've done like 30 hours of direct access training on a 600, so I was like, right, if I can do it on this, then yeah, I know how to handle a bike. I know how to handle a bike maybe that's got a bit more power. And the thing is, for me, those the videos I was watching about sport bikes is low end. They're not that powerful. Like, look, I'll jerk the throttle now. Yeah, it moves because I'm in second gear, but I'm telling you, the bikes that we learned on, the Kawasaki naked bikes, I don't know what engine's in them, but it was so much more twitchy low end. Like, I'm talking, it would throw you off on a corner. Like, I was going around a roundabout, and if I just wanted to have the throttle on, oh, there's another learner, I'll be respectful. If you wanted to have the throttle on and not the clutch, it was scary because it would like lurch on you, and I couldn't smoothly put on the throttle. Whereas on this bike, I can literally go around tiny little roundabouts with just the throttle. He says as he nearly butchered the corner, with tiny amounts of throttle and not even using the clutch, because it's just so, there's no power there. It's so delicate and so light. It's really, God, this learner is, wow, you are taking that corner slow. I guess we will start somewhere. I shouldn't really judge, but there's no power. And if you ride those learner bikes, there's a lot of power low end. So that's another thing that's going to convince you, is that you're not going to kill yourself as long as you don't jerk, like as long as you don't rev the hell out of the bike and then drop the clutch. It's not going to come out from underneath you. So you can get rid of that in your head, because I had that in my head. As soon as I got on this, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it's actually way easier. The second thing is the positioning. So obviously it's a different position. It is a lot harder, slow. Oh, why can't I speak? It's a lot harder at slow speeds, like maneuverability wise, because the bikes that we were on were quite upright. The naked bikes, they're really agile, like you can throw those things around, and it's no issue. Whereas this bike is very awkward because of the bars, and like you're leant over the bars. It's just it's a different way of riding, and it's something new to get used to, but it's not too much where you would never be able to get used to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's been 3 days, I'm already used to it. Yeah, my corners are not as tight as they used to be on the learner bike, but I'm still able to figure it out and get used to it to the point where I'm like, yeah, this is fine. So that's another thing. Position, slow maneuver is going to be a bit difficult, so obviously you have to be careful of your throttle, and you could easily quickly put on too much and throw it from underneath you. But again, if you've done your training and you've spent hours on other 600 or just on the road in general, you understand how the clutch works. You understand that if you just don't drop the clutch, you're going to be fine. You can just rev the bike out. I rev all the time too high when I go around the corner, but I don't change the clutch. I just leave it and adapt as I'm going, and it sorts itself out. And yeah, that's just another reason why you can start on a 600. It's honestly completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I saw so many videos of people being like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you should never do it. I'm like, calm down, mate. Everyone's different. So the third thing is, if you're ready, you really have to be, look, ready, there's a slow turn coming up now. Whoa, God, what are you doing? I'm going to give this guy some space. No worries. Ready, watch this. So look, even I'm still struggling, but I'm still getting used to it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I'm just not going to put on loads of throttle when I'm going to slowly go around the corner. But what was I saying? Yeah, your ego. That's the third thing. Are you actually ready? Like when you did, yeah, you might have done your direct access. Right, I'm going to go forward because this learner is really taking their sweet time. You did your direct access, yes, but were you confident on the bike? Like, were you actually like, yeah, this is so easy now, this is like second nature? Or did you scrape through your test and you're still a bit nervy? If that's the case, then yeah, maybe you should consider getting a more user-friendly bike, like a naked bike, where it's more upright and you can get more comfortable and more confident with riding before you go ahead and get a bike like this, which is really dedicated to that sort of switch in position. Like you're really, I'm going to go left, I ain't going right. You're really leant over, so you need to check your ego and be like, right, okay, was I any good in my direct access? And if I was, okay, yeah, I think I could handle a 600. If you weren't, then yeah, I do think you should consider it. That's the only reason I would say. Other than that, go for it, because you're going to learn so much on this bike anyway. Like I'm learning so much more on this than I was on the other one. There's that learner. Do not pull out in front of me. Way more on this than I was on the other one, because it's just a new way of riding, and I'm on the, like, I'm constantly thinking like, right, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. But yeah, those are the three reasons really. Is your ego in check? Like, actually be honest with yourself. Can you actually handle a bike, and do you have good road experience? Oh, that's the second one actually. Have you been are you experienced on the road? So then that's not an issue in your head. Like I don't have to think about, oh, am I supposed to give way here? Or, oh, how do I go around a roundabout again? I forgot how it works. You know what I mean? So if your road knowledge is there, which is kind of why in the UK I think they make us wait till we're 24, because then you don't have to worry about that sort of stuff, because you've already hopefully done either driving or just more lessons on your bike. But yeah, I don't have to worry about all of that sort of stuff. And then the last one, what was the last one? Control? Was it control a bike? If you can control the bike, then yeah, you can 100% jump on a 600 and be able to control that as well, because it's all the same. There we go. There's the power. Fucking hell. So that's when I'm confident to use it in a straight line, because I'm not going around corners and stuff like that. But that's what I mean. That's where the power is. You're not going to be riding around town like that, and that's most of the riding you're going to be doing, obviously, unless you're on country roads and dual carriageways. You're going to be on nice, calm roads where you can control the bike as if you were on a 125. It's the same thing. So that's another thing you should have to get in your head. It all does the same stuff. It's just a bit more power that will only be accessible if you want to use it. So yeah, other than that, that's kind of it really. I just wanted to make this video to, oh god, see look, I'm still my right turns are still a bit shaky. I'm a bit of a noob still. I'm still learning, but in that situation I didn't drop the clutch. I just kept the revs down a little bit and waited till I got my balance back, and then I eased on the power again. Job done, situation sorted. Now I can carry on my big boy bike. Yeah! Ah, it's so fun. Yeah, hopefully this is the last video you have to watch to try and convince yourself. There's no need to convince yourself. You're riding on a 600 to do your lessons. You can ride a 600. They all do the same thing. Don't drop the clutch, don't jerk the throttle. You will be absolutely fine. The last thing you should do to make sure you're okay on a 600 is subscribe to this channel. Because I'm going to be posting regular content of me still learning how to ride, because I'm only 3 days past, on this 600. So if you want to follow along, relatable content, or just enjoy the little ride, and I'll just find random things to talk about, go cool places, make cool little videos, and yeah, it's going to be a good time. So if you liked this video, then consider liking, consider being my first subscriber if you want, if you're coming over from TikTok. How you guys doing? Yeah, that's it really. I'm going to I don't know what I'm going to do. Am I going to go home? Yeah, I'm going to go home. I'm going to end the video here. Next video, don't know what it's going to be. I'll try to go on some cool back roads, and we'll just go for a little blast around on the bike. All right, so yeah, get off YouTube, get on Facebook Marketplace, and go buy a 600 sport bike. Don't worry about it, people. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'll see you later.